Microphone check 1 2 1 2. We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No matter where you may see this, no matter where you may find yourself. I can't remember how the intro go. Look, we here, we live. It's a black and white thing feature A1 and A Ward. I'm one half of the dynamic duo. I'm A1. Please remember you can check us out wherever you get the good podcast. Search for It's a Black and White Thing. You can also check us out on YouTube. Search Brains and Bars. Hit the like, hit the notification bell, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we're also live for the first time on Twitch. We are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. And we're live on Twitch for the first time. So for the new people who might be joining us there, you can also search Brains and Bars. Find us there as well. As normal as always, I got my guy Ward in the building, but we also have a special guest. You can see by the title. He pulled me to the side. I forget which event it was, and he was like, "Yo, why you ain't had me on the show?" And I'm like, "Well," he was like, "You had Marv on the show," and I said, "Well, we weren't talking sports when Marv was on the show. We was talking." He was like, "Well, I know basketball. Like, I'm the most knowledgeable basketball person that you know." And I went, "Oh, okay, my bad, my bad. I didn't know that." So joining us for the first time, we got Quest Mcody in the building along with Ward. What's going on, man?
He lied to you, by the way. Oh, you muted, Quest.
Yeah, what up?
There you go.
What up with you?
Man, we good. Everybody doing good. Everybody have a good day today.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. My team's still in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So, I can't be nothing but happy about that.
That's what's up. We're going to
lot of people, they don't have teams in the NBA. So to have one in the playoffs even is exciting.
For sure. I am I am one of those people. I have a team, but they're not in the playoffs. But we're going to get into that in just a second. Matter of fact, let's just start there. The NBA draft lottery was yesterday, on Mother's Day, and the NBA decided, as a Bulls fan, the NBA decided to give me an early Father's Day present by having the Bulls make a jump up into the top four. The top three teams in order are the Wizards, the Jazz, and the Grizzlies. The Bulls are fourth. As a Bulls fan who has had to live through this post Derrick Rose era, it has been a rough go of it for a good little minute. I guess you could say even post Jimmy Butler era. Shout out Mama Ward in the building. Shout out Neff in the building. But I'll ask you guys. We'll start here. If you are the Washington Wizards, would you entertain trading back? Right? Because, there's a lot of talk of AJ DeBanza went to BYU. He seems to be one of the 100 Black people that actually liked living in Utah. And so, there's talk about the Jazz potentially trading up to the number 1 overall pick with Washington. So if I'll start with you, Quest, if you were the Washington Wizards, and Danny Ainge hits your line and says, "Yo, what did it take to get to that number 1 pick?" Are you entertaining any offers to trade back?
If Danny Ainge calls me?
Yeah, the GM of the Jazz, GM and president. Actually, I think he's the president of the Jazz. So if he calls you, you are the GM of the Washington Wizards, and he says, "Yo, what will it take to get to number 1? I want to get AJ. I want to make sure I have the top spot." Do you entertain that offer?
No, because Peterson will probably be the next pick. That you could go Boozer, but you can't go Boozer. You can't go Boozer because you got AD unless you're gonna ship AD, right? So Peterson, the next few is like a guard. You could go Wilson, but Wilson ain't really a number 1 or 2 pick. I don't think. I'm not as big of a college fan, so it's more so just the talk I see and hear, and the highlights I see. But nah, you get that small forward. You get AJ. It's nothing that Utah can give you. What they gonna give you? Who they got? Bailey?
They got Ace Bailey. I mean, they've been trying to ship Walker Kessler for like 5 years.
I'm gonna give you okay.
Lauri Markkinen?
Do I want is it no. No, you got 2 more years of Lauri. Maybe. at this level. So we talking a freshman. You talking AJ? Like he is a year removed from high school, #1 draft pick in a year like this kind of talented year or what have you. He at the small forward position. You already got AD. You got his name just leaving my brain right now. They just traded
Trey
for him.
Young.
Trey Young. You got Trey Young or whatever. So you got a shooter that loves to pass the basketball, and you're a freshman that can cut and you're athletic. You got a point guard that can shoot, loves to pass. You got a center that wants to be a power forward. So, no, unless you're gonna trade AD. If you're gonna
So,
trade AD,
so I ask you this question then: If you have, if would you make that trade? Right. So you make the trade with the Jazz, and then you ship. You're going to get one of those power forwards. You already got Alex Sarr as your big man, as your center. So like, it's not AD. I don't want to call him a luxury, right? Because AD is a champion. He's a vet, obviously. But would you potentially move back one, and then you take one of the bigs, Boozer or Caleb Wilson, and you ship Anthony Davis for some picks, and then Ward, I come to you next.
yeah, I mean, I don't bank on Anthony Davis for nothing. So like in this, like for this season, like I think hopefully he'll come back in shape. But like the only way I trade that pick is if I want Boozer and I'm getting rid of AD. Like if I get Boozer, if I got Boozer with Trey, he a power forward center, kind of, you know what I'm saying? Duke got a pretty strict, like kind of, they got a mature kind of program, so they'll probably mesh quick. And now you don't have like y'all not about to win or whatever. So now you are in a situation with a guard that apparently wants to be there, right? Uh, and a center that has to be there, and you just hope that he becomes uh what his potential shows, and then you could just back him up with Trey Young and add some pieces down the line.
All right, Ward, I'm gonna jump to you. What would you do if Danny Ainge hits your line and say, "Yo, what's good?"
I mean, I'm gonna respond the way I would normally respond to anything. Is like, how much are you willing to give to get your guy? You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a price on everything. Like I'm not we're not doing you any favors, but
True.
at the end of the day, if he's from Utah, I'm in Utah, we know the fans want him, he's been in Utah, we could sell tickets, we could this, that, and the third. I know that just as much as you do. So what do you got? I do think this is not a draft where there's a huge gap from 1 to 2. You know what I mean? Where you're going to look back and be like, you guys were idiots for dropping to #2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there's a little less risk there. I think AJ to me is the clear #1, but I think DP, could have been a #1 in plenty of drafts. You know what I mean? I think he's really, really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my response is just going to be like, what are you willing to give? And so if it looks like, young players, if it looks like, like an Ace Bailey, another first round, like you say, a Walker Kessler, some other things like that. And it also just depends on how sold the Wizards are on. The Wizards might not be completely sold on AJ, but they haven't shown that hand yet. You know what I mean? So they might
Yeah.
be like thinking like, you know what? It was 60-40 for us anyway. So we might as well go ahead and take the second pick and get DP. Yeah, I definitely think that with the Wizards, we really don't know what they're going to look like next year. Like we don't know how invested Anthony Davis is. We know, Trey Young will be there. We know Bilal Coulibaly, whatever, is as up and coming, guard playing pretty well. Who was the other guy? Is it Kamara? No, he's with the
Keyshawn
Trailblazers.
George. Keyshawn George. They got Will Riley. And like I said, Alex Sarr made a big leap this year. And
Yes.
I think when you let's just look at Sarr, right? Sarr is him on in a pick and roll with Trey. There's going to be a lot of live opportunities. And like Quest said, it allows AD to play the 4 and Sarr to be the 5. And he offered pretty good rim protection. I think he averaged 2 blocks a game.
Yeah. Yeah, so now I'm definitely listening, but it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be. It's gonna cost you. Like I said, I know why you want the guy. I know where you are at, where he played college at, and all that good stuff. So it's gonna cost you. But um, do I foresee it happening? No. I just don't think the Wizards organization has done enough lately to be able to say we traded away the number one pick.
Yeah, yeah. I did fail to mention Jaren Jackson Jr.
Where's he at?
He's in
Utah.
He's in
That's
Utah.
right. That's right. Oh yeah.
So, like, if I'm telling you, I'm sending you JJ this pick, and then you draft Boozer. But are you sending but it got to make sense money wise too. Like, we're not even talking about the money. Like, they can't just take him on that kind of contract.
Yeah, already having AD and Trey and
yeah. I mean, I doubt they would if they do make a deal. I doubt it's going to involve any vet pieces who are making lots of bread. Like Ward said, I think Ace Bailey, who was not rumored, allegedly was rumored not to be happy to be in Utah. Didn't want to.
He didn't want to go in the first place, right?
Yeah, right.
Hey,
he wanted to go back to school.
Yeah,
go back to school.
Yeah. So, and I wanted to say Washington was one of the places he wanted to go. I feel like he was trying to force their hand not to take him so he could go to Washington. So, I mean, he would get what he wants. Danny get what he wants, and I would think you would probably have to send a couple, maybe 2-3 first round picks on top of that.
Really? 2 or 3 firsts?
Right. For a potential, like,
for just a 1 or 2 swap.
Like, bro, you ain't even get 2 or 3 first round picks for Luka.
Well, I mean, don't blame the stupidity of old boy Adiko. What that got to do with me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's your mans who screwed that up. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, because you got to remember. So Rudy Gobert, when he got traded, how many first round picks was it? 5?
Yeah, it was something crazy like that. Yeah.
Rudy Gobert went for 5 first round picks. Desmond Bane went for 4 first round picks. We're talking about a draft that has one of the most highly anticipated classes since 2003.
Yeah, but you can only get one of them.
Yeah, I'm not giving you multiple first round picks for anything. Like,
I can see Ace Bailey, Kessler in a first round next year and the swap. You don't think they would take that?
For one position in the draft, I could see if I was trying to swap you. Like, I could see if I wanted your pick
drop 10 picks, something like that.
We're just talking about we're swapping 1-2. Like, and then we're talking about Ace Bailey. Man, look, he might have potential, but man, Ace Bailey played over 25 minutes a game and averaged like 13 points. You dig? Like,
on a team that needed points.
Yeah. Like, so, like, I'm not saying that his potential or that he can't be a better player than the system he was playing in or the circumstances. But if I'm talking about putting him on a trade list, it's like, yeah, give me Ace Bailey. Like, yeah, and some more. And Jaren Jackson Jr. Like his stats don't show that, like, and I know he doesn't want to be there. Like, so... Yeah.
So for context, when Boston and Philly made the trade back in, this is 2017, this is the trade that would get Boston. Boston went from 1. I'm sorry. Did Boston go from 1 to 3? No. Yes, Boston went from 1 to 3. Philly went from 3 to 1. In that trade, Philly gave up a first rounder in 2018 and 2019.
That's it, though? No players?
No players.
Okay.
They got 2 picks. So again, mind you, Jason Tatum, people like Jason Tatum. There was not this kind of hype coming in with Jason Tatum. People were like, yo, Jason Tatum is a bucket. We don't know if we're talking about a franchise guy. For certain, people are saying, at least with the top 3. And now all of a sudden, I'm going to address this Caleb Wilson thing in just a second. With those 3 guys, they are saying that those are franchise-changing players. You've heard it all offseason, from the McDonald's High School All-American game throughout the entire college season. You've been hearing that it's a 3-man for sure draft, that if you get one of these 3 guys, you're set for the next 10 years. And so again, if I'm going to drop back one spot, you got to make it worth my while. Otherwise, you can get on League Pass and watch AJ play just like everybody else.
Well, I will say, like, since you referenced that 2018 joint, that's the year you got to make sure you add that the Sixers took Markel Fultz with that
They
first round
did.
pick. It was more of a play on how much Boston knew and being savvy on, yo, I could get some other stuff because they knew they wanted Jason Tatum. They knew that the Lakers had to take Lonzo Ball if he was available. So they didn't, otherwise they would have made the deal with uh with the Lakers. If they weren't worried about uh Philly taking Jason Tatum, right?
Mhm.
Because they ain't want Markel folks, right? They're like, yo, so they're not gonna take Jason Tatum. LA is not gonna take Jason Tatum. We want Jason Tatum, and we're first. If I know you're gonna take folks, yo, I just catch him over here, and then I got the rest of these picks. And yo, folks didn't plan out to be what they thought he was, right?
True.
So
True.
that's a scary thing. But
Yeah.
that was more Boston playing everybody. Boston knew Jason Tatum was better. This isn't one of them situations. These first three players, like we all can say, general consensus is if you drop these guys in different years, they'd be going first.
True. True. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
So I
that's
think
what I
if
was saying. Like if they were split 60-40, if they had looked at one of these guys as if like they mean as much to me as the other
Mhm.
guy, like I don't see why not. You know what I mean? Like why would you not trade up? You know? But if they're looking at AJ like he's the guy that we want, then there's no reason to. You know what I mean? I don't think the Jazz has the picks or players to get him away from me. But like I said, like if I'm like, yo, there's three culture changing players, and I can get two first round picks and maybe a rim protector and Walker Kessler, something like that, I wouldn't mind trading them down because it's like, yo, the general consensus is as long as I stay in these first three picks, I'm gonna be good.
yeah.
true, true. And I'm glad you said that. I'm about to. I need y'all to clear. I need the ISO for just a second because
Oh gosh,
I'm a care. Hey, listen.
he's a
Let me
Carolina
ISO.
fan
Let
and a
me
Bulls
ISO
fan.
real quick. Let me ISO real quick. So
Something Caleb Wilson can't do. Go ahead.
that's a lie. That's a lie. Listen, listen, listen. All year I've had to hear about how there were three players at the top of this draft: AJ DeBansa, um, Boozer, and Peterson. Right? That these three were the three guys that you had to have. Caleb Wilson was someone who was in the mix. Darius Acuff was someone who was in the mix, but it was a clear hierarchy. Now all of a sudden the Bulls jump up. They were supposed to have like the ninth or the 10th pick. They jump all the way up to fourth. Now I'm like, oh yeah, we got my guy Caleb Wilson. All of a sudden now Caleb Wilson is in the mix for the two pick. Caleb Wilson all of a sudden is now maybe he needs to go number one. Nah, keep that same energy. I need Caleb Wilson in a Bulls jersey come June. I don't want to hear none of this talk. Jay Williams, I want to hear that he's Giannis. He's not Giannis. He's KG. Let's take it. Let's take it this peg down a little bit. I don't. We need that man in a Bulls jersey. So please stop playing with me. Don't start this propaganda machine about. I don't know if you need to take Boozer. Does he have the size? Does he have the athletic? Yes, because y'all told me all year he did. So I don't want to hear it. Caleb Wilson, number 4 to the Bulls. Stamp it. Put it in stone. Put it in pen, not pencil, and stop playing with me. Because if can't I can't think of the young man's name. If Carlos Boozer's seed ends up in the Bulls jersey, I'm going to have a fit. I'm going to lose my mind. No disrespect to that young man. I hope he has a great career. Just go do it on somebody else's dime and somebody else's time and not mine. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, cool. Now that I got that off my chest, we can return to our regularly scheduled program. My bad,
Right.
y'all. I just had to get that off my chest. That really pissed me off to see people talking about all of a sudden now Caleb Wilson is a top 2 pick. When I heard
Well,
one
for
person
the
say that.
record, I am not that sold on Cam Boozer, so I would be one who wouldn't mind Caleb Wilson creeping up into the 3 spot because I think it's a AJ and DP race. But you know, that's neither here
Listen,
nor there.
A Ward is a contrarian hater. I just want to let you know this. I don't know if you know this, Quest. He's a contrarian. So I'm gonna give you
Huh?
one quick anecdote, and we can keep it
Quest is
moving, right? So
familiar.
in our fantasy, we in a dynasty league together, right? I'm trying to figure out how to make my team better, how to improve my squad. I got the third overall pick, right? I got Saquon Barkley. People are hollering at me about Saquon. Ward wants to move up to like 6 because he's got a guy he wants to get. So like we're both engaging the guy with the 6th pick. So I'm like, yo, I think I'm talking to old boy about the 6th pick, man. I think I might have a deal I could work out. Ward comes in, nah, get out of here. That's my pick. That's my pick. And so he starts to talk me out of the deal. He's talking me out of the trade. Now, what could have
Can't be
happened
weak-minded, bro. You can't have a dynasty and be weak-minded, bro.
Listen. What could have happened was I could have traded back to 6. Then I could have made a deal with Ward to jump back to 9. Because I didn't really care about the 6th pick. For real. I really just was trying to make some moves. So he talks me out of the deal. I ended up taking a deal that I liked, but not a deal that would have gotten me a couple of extra picks in the next year's draft. Later on, another opportunity for some trade talk comes up, and he jumps in again. Hey, instead of him just coming to the table with an offer, she shows up with hate.
The devil didn't leave. The devil didn't leave Adam and Eve alone afterwards. You know what I mean? Like he pulled up a couple more times.
Anyway, man. Yeah. So don't you put that juju out into the world. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Caleb Wilson, number 4, stamp it. Anyway, let's get into these playoffs. Quest, you talked about teams in the playoffs, having a team that's still in the playoffs that you're rooting for. The Pistons, who are going to kick off their game against the Cavs, game 4 in about, say, 20, 25 minutes from now. They're up 2-1 on Cleveland. I want to ask you, like, what has the energy been like in the city, especially now that the Pistons are in the Eastern Conference semis, picked up their first playoff win since, 2008? Yeah. After they got through that first round series. So what has the energy been like in the city with a team that could potentially be playing the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, it's been turned, man. We used to this. We ain't had it in a while, but the city support, man. We really like Cade, man. Love Cade, man. We call him Cade Icewood. Boss up, shake down. Boss up, shake down. Man, it's been lit, man. I went to the last game we played, the playoff game. That's why I wasn't able to be here last week or what have you, man. And it's just been a lot of love, man. Tobias Harris has been playing really, really well.
Let's go, Toby.
My man Thompson is balling. Cade is doing what he's supposed to be doing. Duran, I need to see what's up with him, man. He's been a disappointment so far, but he's doing what he can in other areas. But I expected to get that 19 a game from him, really 20, 25. I expected him to actually take it up a notch because he showed that he could when Cade was absent. Jennings, he been playing.
Yeah. Jenkins. Yeah.
Jenkins has been playing very, very well. He's a great guard. I hope we don't lose him. I hope this isn't a contract year for him, because somebody's going to try to take him away. Indeed. So, man, we've been doing good. I just hope we need to win this game. We can't come back to Detroit tied. Right now, New York is on a high because they've had some really, really good games, some blowout games. And, we've been handling them for most of the year, but we just got to take care of business where we at right now.
That's what's up. War, you see the slight flex there. I couldn't make it last time.
Man, listen, this show's called It's a Black and White Thing, and he did not mention Duncan Robinson. All right, so we got to make sure we hold it down for the white shooters.
On some real, Duncan Robinson, he ain't been really showing up the way I thought. Like he should be showing up during this. But he's hit some good shots, some great shots.
He's hit some very timely 3-pointers. Yes, They all been playing very good defense too. They've been having some active hands. I think what it is and sometimes you say sometimes this is right, sometimes this is wrong. When you get those series out of the way that are like them 6-7 game, boom, they prepare you a little bit more than like kind of the Knicks just kind of skating through competition, and winning games by 30 and 40. But what I will say is Cade, turnover wise, and some of his play in the fourth quarter has been a little immature and troubling for if you do need to get that big game win in Cleveland in a game 6, or even in a New York game or whatever. It's like those are some things, and Duran, oh, I agree with you. He's kind of, but he's came along though, kind of in the fourth quarter with a little bit of energy and buckets in the last couple games, and I'm hoping that Duran, like, man, if all of a sudden he starts playing to his potential, they become the clear favorite to me to come out of the East. I think one of the reasons we're stuck 2-1, maybe, Cleveland tonight, and then the Knicks are looking so great is because I think Duran has just been kind of he's an all-star. Like, he played this year like an all-star. And man, I'm looking up like, yo, can we put in Reed? Can we put in somebody else that can get like buckets? Because he just kind of like a big body for no reason. But regardless, I think Cade is insanely good. I think it's just some of them turnovers, man, in that last game, bro. Yeah, throwing the ball in bounds, throwing the ball at the back of the backboard. Just a couple things where it's like, hey, bro, like, lock the F in. Like, what? Like, what's up? It's the playoffs, my guy.
I think sometimes we afford that uh to our greats, and maybe he hasn't established greatness, because we could say the behind the back pass from Steph in the playoffs was a situation where it's like, yo, bro, that's the absolute wrong thing to do, but he's
Yeah.
shown us he could do the right thing so many times. And the thing
Mm-hmm.
with K, when you look at his fourth quarter play, he might have the game I was at in Detroit, he had like maybe 16, 15 going into the fourth, or 17 going into the fourth, and left the game with like 27. I don't
Yeah.
know. He scored like 12 in the fourth, like in a essential time of the game. So I
Yeah. He
think
hits
that,
big shots.
yeah,
I know what he definitely gets buckets too.
yeah, but definitely just locking in. But I do think, just to talk about New York, just to touch on one of those points you made about them and these series they have, they've played worse teams. Like Atlanta was a team that shouldn't have made the playoffs. Like they didn't belong in the playoffs. They had some good showings, but they didn't belong in the playoffs. But they got there. They threw that team together last minute and they made some shit happen. They got a bright future for next year, but I see them being in the same situation, maybe worse, next year in the play-in. Then they play Boston, right? They play Boston.
No, they played
No,
Philadelphia.
no, they play
Philadelphia,
Philly.
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. They play Philly, who,
It
like,
was a
what?
7 seed. Yeah.
Yeah, the seventh seed, who got in again on the play-in, and they had an injured star. Their injured star gave all he could give to get through Boston the season, or the series before. So by the time they get them, they got games where he not playing. All the chemistry's off. You got Maxi. You got a rookie at shooting guard. You got PG coming back off a 25-game suspension. Really ain't in the mesh of the offense, where he went from going to a place where maybe he was looking to be the second or the third, to now, yo, I'm the corner boy or whatever. I'm playing the corner or whatever. So they ain't really had a challenging team. Like, I don't think, like, I think the Magic were way better than the seed they landed. They were projected to be a 4-5 seed this season and had injuries. Uh, but we shouldn't have been in that situation. Now, this Cleveland Cavaliers team, like,
It's a good team.
this is a
It's a very
really,
good team.
really good team. And this is a team that had a better odds of making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, let alone the NBA Finals, than we did. New York has only played teams that weren't projected to do better than them this year.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how do you think the rest of this series plays out? Give me a prediction. Is it Pistons in 5, 6, or 7?
We'll win this one, and then we'll win the first one at home, and it'll be a wrap.
So, Jen,
That's what I expect. I don't expect them to even this up, and like, it's something going on. Like, I don't know what's up with James Harden. Um, I think he's a phenomenal basketball player, one of the best at his position that I've seen just play in my time. Some of the stuff he do on the court is phenomenal, but I also just I see, like Cade is hunting him on the basketball court. He's taking picks. They're taking picks to get him on defense. He's making some mistakes. Um, but you still gotta watch him no matter how bad James Harden is playing. You
Hmm.
gotta you gotta play like him. Just being on the court is dangerous. So we shall see.
Like Loso's ears perked up as soon as you mentioned James Harden. That he is a
Oh man.
James Harden defender,
Yeah.
boy. Uh,
Yeah, I mean
so,
James Harden is a good basketball player, man, and he makes some good plays. It's just that he gets highlighted for some things that aren't always under his control.
so Ward, how do you see the rest of this series going with Cleveland and Detroit?
I think if Detroit wins tonight, it's over. And it's over when they come back to Detroit. I feel like that. Um, it's gonna be a tough game tonight, bro. I'm gonna tell you this much. Mobley and Jared Allen, like those are really solid bigs down there.
Yeah.
Like if they get going, if we get into Lob City, if Harden can get downhill, if Donovan Mitchell can get to the paint with his little move that he does or whatever, like it can get tough down there in the paint. Um, it's gonna be a tough game, bro. It's really gonna be a tough game. I think it's gonna come down to who makes a couple plays in the fourth quarter. I'm gonna take Detroit. I'm gonna take Detroit tonight. In a very close game, and I'm with Quest. I think they close it out at home. But man, that man Donovan Mitchell can get hot.
Yeah, you know
So,
what?
go ahead, Quest.
No, I was gonna say, the one thing, I know we've been talking about Duran and just needing to show up a little more when it comes down to the offense, but he's still been a factor defensively.
Hmm.
Like, and that's the thing. Like those two big guys, I thought that Evans and Mobley and just everybody order 3 to 5. I thought we were gonna have a way tougher time with those guys or what have you. So if they tap into that pick and roll, that they could just, man.
Mobley's another guy though. He's also like you expect a 20 and 10 almost with Mobley. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And he's not getting that, and that is attributed to some of Jalen Duren's defense and how they played him. But I also just think it's tough. Come playoff time, you know people want to be the guy in certain ways. The emergence of Tobias Harris is taking points away from guys like Durant and some of these other guys, and then also um, you know Harden looking around seeing if Donovan Mitchell's going to make a play, and Donovan looking around to see what Harden's dribbling so long for, and then Mobley's in the corner, kind of like, hey, am I going to shoot this three or do I need to go?
yeah,
There's in playoff time, everything is just so high pressured, and you're kind of just like sitting around waiting for the guy to become the guy. And I think you have two guys on the basketball court tonight that know when the time comes how to become that guy. And that's Cade Cunningham and Donovan Mitchell. And tonight, I think it's going to come down to which one takes their team in the fourth quarter and wins the game.
So I'll say this about Mobley. I think where you land matters a lot. And I think him going to Cleveland, but then Donovan showing up either the same year he was drafted or the year after, I forget which it was. But like you have him showing up and him being so ball dominant. You have Darius Garland who makes a leap at that same time. And then they trade Garland away and go and get Harden. And I just think that if in another context, in another lifetime, if you put Evan Mobley on a Wizards team or some other team where there's no focal point for scoring, I think Evan Mobley he could have been Chris Bosh. That was the comp coming out of school right there. He could be Chris Bosh. And I think if you put him in another context, he could be a perennial 20 and 10 guy. But I think right now, because the focus are on the guards, Harden and Mitchell, that he's just kind of third fiddle and he has to, it's hard to establish a rhythm. Shout out to Draymond. Draymond felt like his offensive career was capped by Steve Kerr. And I feel like a little bit that Mobley's career is being, I don't want to say capped, but I do think he's being stifled a little bit because he's got some other guys who need the ball a little bit more than he does. So,
yeah. But are you also working with a guard who has had some of the best moments with big man, and like his numbers have went up since Harden got there, if I'm not mistaken. So I just giving a test, just put that on the Pistons defense. You
Mhm.
know,
Was he an all-star too, Mobley?
I don't know.
not this year, but in previous years, yes. The year they were the number one seed, which was last year, right? So last year he made the All-Star game
Okay.
when they were the one seed in the East.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The Pistons, man, they nasty, man. Nasty boys, man. I don't know if I like that name, man, but but yeah, man. Shout out to the Pistons, man. We want New York though. Like, boy, I feel we should have beat them last year. Like, I felt we got cheated. Like, you got to win the game, but I felt like the refs played a part in two of our losses or whatever, a heavy part. So not trying to put the cart before the horse. We got to get through Cleveland. But we look forward to that. Y'all rocking with the West Coast though? What's up? Y'all saw my man Wemby with the
Yeah, so
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie, I loved it.
Leave me alone. Like,
I
hey,
loved it.
Hey, Wemby was upset. Like, he was frustrated. You could tell because it really wasn't anything happening to him when he did it. You could tell he was just tired of whatever else had been happening. And because we love him so much, that's the excuse we get. He's just so tired of being hit, man. That was Draymond. Stephen A would have been on ESPN Sports Center like, Draymond, you have the mitigated goal.
Dog, I loved when he was sitting on the bench and he looked up at Harrison Barnes. He's like, so what's that mean?
What's that
Harrison
mean?
Barnes was like, that means you're rejected. He was like, all right.
I mean, I get it, right?
More than one game?
No, so they did not
they announced
suspend
today.
him. They did not suspend him for the game. I know me and Ward, we were talking about this in the group chat. I think they look at no priors, right? So he doesn't have a history. He missed basically, he missed the entire second half. So it's almost like time served. Like, you missed the entire half. Your team lost on top of that. I do wonder if sometimes the league looks at kind of what happened at the end of that. So Nas Reed, which was a pretty nasty shot because it hit him in the throat. Like, I thought it caught him in the jaw, but it actually hit him like an Adam's apple, which I know had to hurt like hell.
Man. It would have, man. If he'd have caught him in the eye, head.
Oh yeah,
like he'd have been out of the playoffs.
And he wasn't like he couldn't have known exactly where Nas was behind him. I think he was just like, whoever's back there is about to get this elbow. I don't think he knew like because he's looking forward, so you can't it's not like he's like.
Nah, Ward. He looked back.
He looked
back, said, oh, okay, you've been hacking me like the last 3-4 possessions in a row. I got something for you. Oh, there you are.
Hey, bro, when Ron Artest hit James
Harden,
that boy, we ain't get him nothing. We listen. If Wemby would have connected though, he lucky he hit him in the throat. He's so tall, or however it go. Because if he'd have hit him in the eye or the temple and dropped,
he would have split that mug immediately.
They'd have had Wemby on a plane back to France.
listen. Split your ish.
On the
NBA. Split your shit. Man, hey, Quest would have had him on a shirt the next day. I'll split your shit.
He's gonna have braids. He gonna have braids. Like Vic Dub. His name gonna be V Dub. Man, V Dub. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Out here.
Dog, yeah, man. Yeah, so I agree with not suspending him for the second game. He missed most of that one. How y'all feel about Minnesota in San Antonio? I saw somebody say, shout out to Titus. Shout out to my guy Titus. He said this series is the most 3-1, 2-2 series ever.
What do you mean?
Basically, the Spurs should have won this game and been up 3-1. Because you got to think, like, Minnesota has not led in any. This was the first time they led, I think, at the half. First time they led after 3. Other than that, they've been down every halftime, after 3. They've been down in each of the first 3 games. This is the 4th game. Was the first time they actually had the lead. So, do you think that San Antonio cleans them up the next 2?
I don't know, bro. Is Ant getting healthier, or is he getting? He's not. It's not a situation where he's going to be playing like he's been playing the whole rest of the playoffs, or just the series.
Listen, he put up 36 last night, so he's probably like 60%.
But you heard him though. He said, "I told the Rook if I had legs, I'd have boomed on you." That's what he told the dude after the game. But it's like, him not having legs. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know who's going to win the series. I don't think it's clear. Even though San Antonio's led most of it, I would not be surprised if the Timberwolves won the series.
I think if the Timberwolves win the series, I think we got to rearrange his top 5. I feel like if Anthony Edwards, now mind you, he missed the series, the first round series where they take out Jokic, right? But in his young playoff career, it'd be the third Western Conference Finals in a row. And in those 3 years, he would have taken out, well, mind you, Steph got injured, but he's got wins over LeBron. He's got wins over KD. He has wins over the Warriors, minus Steph, and he would have the win over Wemby's going to be probably number
well,
two.
no, he didn't play.
Wemby would probably be number two on this year's MVP ballot, or number three. So he would have wins. He would have some wins over some pretty big names. KD, Bron, Wemby, Jokic, because he's not Jokic out the playoffs too when healthy. And I feel like if he does that, we got to rearrange his top five. I don't know. He's not one. He might not be two, but somewhere between 3 and 5. I don't know who we kicking out. If it's Wemby, if it's Luka, I think we gotta
wait. First off, top 5 is all. We're not going to do this because
not all time. I'm talking
Wemby, Shea, and Luka. Wemby, Shea, and Luka to me are three, like, they're non-negotiables.
I think Luka's negotiable.
I'm trying to see if you got alcohol in your background.
I do not have alcohol in my background.
See if you have, are you out of you think, who do you have in the top 5 right now?
I think top 5 right now. I think you got to go Shea. I think you got to go. I have Luke in the top 5 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Jokic. So this would be my MVP ballot, right?
If we go, this isn't top 5 like immediately like this year. This is like the top 5, like reigning top 5. Like rather you talking about this year or next year.
Right. This is reigning top 5, right? Okay. Reigning top 5. So in order. Got you. Man, because I got to figure out what I'm going to do with K. All right. So reigning top 5. Right? This is my MVP ballot.
Nah, that's different.
No, just say reigning top 5. Okay. Don't get the MVP.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't.
Okay, then I ain't got to worry about Cade then, because I got Cade at number 2 of my MVP. But anyway, reigning top 5. I think you got to go Shea. I think you got to go Jokic. I think you got to go Luka. I think you got to go, man. I think you got to go Wemby. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody that I had this list in my head pretty easily.
It's Giannis, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Giannis at 5.
Yeah. Okay. And who is Anthony Edwards kicking out of that list?
I would put Giannis out easily. Giannis has not had the playoff success, and he's been injured. He's spent the last 2 years injured, and he has not had the playoff success post 2021.
Wemby plays 60 games for the first time in his career.
But he's so different that you can't ignore what he's done. So, for example, I can give you a game by game example. You look at what happened against OKC in the NBA Cup semifinals, right? In that game, he had a minutes restriction. When he was off the floor, Oklahoma City was up double digits, right? He came in with like 5 minutes left until halftime, completely flipped the game. I think it was either a tie game or the Spurs were leading. And the time that he came on the floor, he was like a plus 20 and plus minus. I think in game 3, when they beat Minnesota, this is another example, he put up like 35, whatever the numbers were. He was on a list with like Wilt, I think either Hakeem or David Robinson. It's like, and Shaq. It was like 3 or 4 like great centers of all time in one playoff game performance. Like 35 points, 5 blocks, I think 35, 10, 5 or something like that. Like he was on some list with some all-time greats. Wemby is so different to me that when you look at how he's performing, even in a small sample size of 1 year, that to me, you have to put him in a current top 5 list.
Okay.
With only 60 games with the minutes restriction.
So let me ask this question just to make sure. Yo, you got to win a championship this year, and you got a healthy Wemby and a healthy Giannis. Who you picking?
I'm gonna take a healthy Wemby.
All right.
Better free throw shooter.
Championship.
Better free throw shooter. Better jump shooter. Even though that can be spotty from Wemby at times, but still, he's better at those two things than Giannis.
Better
Um,
rebounder. Better.
Better rebounder, better defender.
He's not a better
um,
rebounder than Giannis.
they probably both average about the same amount of rebounds.
Nah.
Nah, I could be
Look him
wrong.
up. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
don't know, but it ain't
Um,
right.
so here's what I'll say. I think if you started a draft a draft for next year, and everybody was like Wemby's the clear number one pick. So if all teams just got you have
That's
to
fair.
draft NBA players next year, Wemby to me is clearly the number one pick. Like any team is going to be like, we're taking Wemby,
I
and then
think
it's
that
Shea, and then it's probably Luka, and then it's Giannis, and then it's Jokic. I think it goes kind of that route. But I do think now that goes into age, that goes into so that it's not the same kind
yeah,
of
it's got
argument,
potential.
right? It's not the same kind of argument that we're talking about with this. But I do think that is another thing about him that where it says like, yo, like the way he's playing at his age and like the how good he is, how quickly and how he affects the game. I would probably, and I've been a Jokic fan, but after the way he loses to Anthony Edwards' team, the series before, I might actually move Jokic out and put Anthony at 5 and have Giannis at 4, Shea Luka and Wemby at the front top
You
3.
wilding. Now
Yeah,
you're wilding. You're
y'all
wilding.
both wilding. Y'all are both wilding.
So who's your five?
Nikola Jokic for the last 5 or 6 years has been
He's
number one
averaging
or
a
two, has been number 1 or 2 in NBA votes, dog, for the last 7
Yeah, you're
years,
right. You're
nigga.
right. You're
Like,
right.
it's no way. Anthony
All
Edwards
right.
ain't
It's
even close.
a prisoner of the moment. All right. Lock
Yeah.
me up.
So if we're saying if let me see, we got everybody got Shea there, everybody got Luka there. All right, okay. I got Jokic in there. You gotta have Jokic in there. Um, I would say Wemby. You gotta say Wemby. He's such a threat. Um, I like to see him play the whole game, but
Mhm.
it's still Wemby. Uh, and then my last one, yeah,
Yeah.
it would be Giannis. I think we're just letting the fact that he was injured. Like Giannis is a high 28, 30 point per game, double digit rebounds, 5 or 6 assists, and he draws, he knows how to pass and handle the basketball. He can body people. When it comes down to AE, I think that somebody would have to age out of this, which would be Giannis. Giannis would age out of this bunch first.
I got a
Um,
question for you, Quest.
uh-huh.
And I mean, I don't know if you saw Losa's tweet. He brought it up earlier. I mean, Shea's been held to 20 points a game. They're up 3-0 and they're winning by 30 points a game. Like, is that really, does he, is, the MVP is like, this guy's being held to pretty average numbers and his team's still winning by 15, 20, 25 points.
But I'm not being held.
No,
I'm not
he
playing the
is.
whole game.
No. He's being
No.
held. No, he's
Okay.
playing the same amount of minutes. They're double teaming
Okay.
him though. But they're double
Oh
teaming
yeah.
him.
Okay. Yeah.
But you know what I mean. But so the first game he had like 7 turnovers. Second game I think he played a lot better or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the more the point is just how good that team is when he's not operating on And when you think MVP valuable, it's like he's obviously he's valuable because they're double teaming him. But that team is a really really good team without him.
Yeah.
Also, the Spurs were really good with Wemby without Wemby yesterday too. So,
But how good are you when they're double teaming me? If they double
yeah,
team me, somebody's open and we gotta swing this ball. Now you gotta hit a shot. I do
you know,
think they're I think AD, we had made a point about him going to the NBA Western Conference Finals 3 years in a row. And that's cool. We weren't telling us like he still got to catch up to Jason Tatum. Like, he may be more explosive. Like, Jason Tatum been injured. Yo, Jason Tatum went to 5 of them in a row or 6 of them. I mean, Jaylen Brown went to 5 of them, and we didn't put him at the number 5 in the NBA. Now, do I
mm,
think that if he ain't 5, he's 6. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? But it's some talent, and that's all also circumstantial. Like, yo, we got MB who can't get right. He's injured the way
yeah,
he is. It is what it is. So that takes somebody out of that list. You know what I'm saying? Um, other than that, like he's in rare air. I think that when it comes down to guards, he's one of the top guards. He might be the top guard at his position for sure. Shooting guard for sure, right?
Well, when as SGA point or is he a shooting guard?
He's a
Point.
point. He's a point.
Yeah, he's like that combo type, and Lucas
Yeah,
point too.
Uh,
So yeah,
Luka's
yeah,
a
and
point.
Tatum's a forward. Tatum's a forward. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Tatum's
he
a
I think
yeah,
four.
yeah.
forward. I mean, yeah,
Forward.
technically a four.
Oh,
He played
He's
that's
both
cool.
three.
actually.
Jalen played like 2-3. He played 3-4.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. I'm not mad at that. Again, I just think that part. So here's part of where I'm coming from with that. I do feel like the NBA media has they glaze international projects, international players a little bit too much for my liking, and I
Okay.
feel like they don't they give short shrift to American players. And again, I just feel like when you look at Anthony's game when he came into the league, he was basically it was all athleticism. He's dunking on people, he's booming on people. He was giving us at least once a week a highlight. Then he added, he said, I want to lead the league in 3 pointers made. Then he started work on that part of his aspect. He did that last year. He came in this year. He said, you know what? I want to work on my footwork in the mid range, in the post. And now you see him adding step throughs, the pump fakes, the turnaround, the fadeaways from mid range. And so every year he's saying, I want to add something to my game. I think the next step for him is kind of what Shay's had to work through with the Lakers series, working through double teams. When they try to double, because they struggled. They should have lost that game to the Spurs with how bad they were down the stretch in the final minutes, just with turnovers. And he was leading some of that. He had a terrible inbound pass that got picked off. He was throwing the ball away when the double team came. So I think that's the next part of his game where he needs to evolve. But again, I don't know, man. I think if he beats this Spurs team, they're going to get smashed by OKC. I mean, it just is what it is. They don't match up. Styles make fights, and they don't match up well with OKC. But again, I think you just got to put a lot more respect on his name when we talk about some of the best in the game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I didn't mean him. We do have to. We do have to. We do have to. Because
I'm
I
about
think
to-
like he's probably gonna end up being like my favorite player. Like once all these
yeah,
guys are gone. I like his personality. I like his style of play. I kind of tend more to the Kobe stature kind of players. The thing about these games they've won is they've won some BS games. Didn't they win like a no, that was the other team. They won that first game that was like a out of nowhere game that I believe that they were playing off fatigue or whatever the case is, but you lost, you lost. Um, the next game was such a blowout. The next game was what it was. This game they wouldn't have won if like Wemby should be beating himself up about this. That's why I believe he's gonna go crazy this next game.
yeah,
Um, but it's very interesting what you said about just the appeal of the overseas game or what have you. I think that we got highlights at the top, but it's still, the US side, the American players still dominate when it comes down to the bunch. But when you just think about um the people that are showing out right now, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Shea
hmm
is Shea, but they're all influenced by American basketball, US basketball. Like not many of them are like, yo, I was at home watching uh Drazen
Drazen
Petrovic.
Petrovic. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They're like,
yeah.
you ask Luca who's his favorite player, he says LeBron. So the influence is still here. Um,
yeah,
but since we on the show Black and White, I got to bring it up. Sometimes I listen to, I think it was Carmelo Anthony. It was somebody that was talking, and to be a sport that's like dominated by black players or what have you, sometimes it seems as if it's not a like that they're leaning more so toward the non-black style of basketball,
Mm.
not the non-black player, right? Because Wemby is international, you know what I'm saying? Different. And I think that when that gets like diluted or convoluted and people start looking too deep into the shit, they miss just what it is. It's like, yo, we have a lot of shit going on over here, and there's a lot of talent over here. It's much easier for the Luca of over there not to slip between the cracks. And I think that's what we really missing when we talk about it. Everybody knows somebody that was just like a really good basketball player, and you thought they were going to the NBA. And I ain't talking about your homie in your hood. I'm talking about the homie that went to the college that you was following. You were like, yo, when he get to the league, he's gonna be this. And then they slip between the cracks. When we talk about the Lucas, man, you get a Luca over there, man. You get a Wimby in France. Ain't no slipping between the cracks, dog. Man, the country is taking care of you. The country took care of Yao Ming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think
Shout out to Maurice Ager.
right.
Should have been that guy. It should
So
have
yeah.
been.
So I think it's a ploy just to gain more international attention so they
Mhm.
could sell more international things. Um, but with that, I want to ask y'all, do y'all think it'll ever be like a team in London, a team in the like a team that's like an 8-hour flight? Like that seems kind of crazy to have
Yeah,
to
I
go
can't
there.
imagine how that would work. Scheduling wise, I
So
just can't imagine how they would. Yeah.
they are working on NBA Europe, right? So they're trying to matter of fact, I just Googled it. NBA invests 3 billion to launch a new European basketball league with 12 permanent franchises.
Man, they trying to
So,
take over.
Right.
and I
But
think
here's the thing though. Is it the crucible? I mean, is it like are the guys over there gonna get really good and to be like, yeah, but it's not an NBA championship, and then want to come over and play for the Raptors or something?
Well, I
so
think I
I
think where they might not do as well over there is because they may have a budget that they try to stay under, like they would with like the G League and them teams over there. They paying top dollar for the people the NBA don't want. So I wonder if it's
Yep.
gonna be a developmental league to catch the players leading into the NBA, which I think would probably be the best, or if this is gonna be like where Michael Beasley had to go to work his way back in
Yeah.
where you know what I'm saying? Where shit Jenkins had to go to work his way
Mhm.
back. Like I wonder. Like
man, listen, send me to the G League. Don't send me to Europe, bro. Don't
Hey,
send me to Europe,
it's
bro.
fun over there. Hey, one, you got to be somewhere at 7:30, right?
No, it got canceled. So but I still wanted
Oh,
to keep it
I just
within an
wanted
hour.
I wanted to
So
keep in mind, yeah, because the game's on too. So
yeah, game's on too. So I want to make sure Quest can get a chance to go watch the game and catch as much of it as possible. So we're almost at an hour anyway. So I'll say this to close real quick. Oklahoma City and Lakers, we're done, right? Like that's a sweep. Get the brooms out.
so man,
I'm
the
not gonna
Lakers
say
is my
LeBron gets
other
swept
team.
tonight.
Man, the Lakers is my other team, right? Like the Pistons are my home team, but the Lakers are my team, man. If the only time I don't root for the Lakers is when they play the Pistons, man. And they should just lose. Like,
They should
like,
just lose.
man, Brian, man, we got it, man. We know. Yes, Brian, we know. We know, Brian. Yes, dog. We know. Let my dog just go ahead and chill for the rest. Luca gone, man. If Luca could have came back, if we could have got one or two, but if we wanted, man, man, let it go. Let him go. Let him go. Leave him alone.
Do
So
we
you
need to
think
see a
LeBron?
good Austin Rivers game tonight, though? Do we need? Are we going into the sleep like, yo, you really did not show up?
You know what we gonna see? We gonna see LeBron James ball the freak out.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like we will too.
He's gonna go crazy. You listen, if this is the game, if he got in his mind that they are gonna be put out of this game, he is not gonna let it be a bleak performance.
Yeah.
Or he gonna quit in the third quarter when they're down by 25 again. Like,
Hey,
come
hey, on the real, if I'm OKC, I'm triple teaming Brian just to take him out the game. Just because he gonna get out the game, Brian. You out, man. You ain't
Yeah.
doing nothing.
so let's just assume sweep. Does Brown retire? or does he
Hell
play
no.
one more year someplace else?
Heck no.
Oh,
He doesn't
someplace else or in
retire.
LA?
Right. So I'll rephrase the question. In 2026, LeBron James is y'all fill in the blank.
A Cleveland Cavalier.
Mm.
Oh man. I don't know, man. He'll still be in the NBA. It as much as I like him to go to Cleveland and get the proper ending, I'd also, man, go play with Steph, man. Steve Kerr came back for 2 years, man. Go play with Steph. Go have fun,
Question:
man.
If I don't even want to put this out there because I don't want but if Cleveland somehow goes far in the playoffs,
No, they're gonna lose to the Pistons. But in
I
this
know that
fantasy world,
in
that
this hypothetical
yeah,
scenario,
this
does
fantasy
Braun
world.
even factor in that he might be joining a team that just lost in the finals, or a team like, you know what I mean? Like, does that make it look any better or more attractive to him, or is he just LeBron and it doesn't matter what he does at this point?
If he
But
goes,
going to a team that just lost the finals, like leaving the Lakers, is kind of like they'll look for some reason to talk about him.
Well, if I'm going and I'm not going to be the number one guy, and this is my hometown, and this is the place that's going to erect a statue, of me. Going back to Cleveland would be like the most sensible thing for him to do. But the most fun thing would be is if he went and he played with Steph Curry, because he can be the new and improved, way better Draymond.
Draymond Green. He could absolutely
be Draymond on steroids. Can you imagine?
But he could also be a much better version of Dean Wade.
Hey, on some real, man, LeBron would be a much better version of a bunch of players in the NBA. And if we're talking second and don't say third options on teams, LeBron is I can't think of a third option like that I would take over LeBron. Like,
no.
Man, I mean, I guess he can go to Golden State and punch his basketball AARP card, as they form one of the oldest teams in history. So, I mean, you talk about Jimmy Butler coming off of ACL, Draymond, who's probably still going to be there, LeBron and Steph. Like, my God.
I don't think LeBron couldn't go play with Draymond. I think Draymond would have to be gone.
Yeah, he's not going there. Now,
that's his man.
Draymond has said that he would like to retire a Detroit Piston if he had to. If he couldn't retire a Golden State Warrior, that he would want to retire a Detroit Piston. And I think that if he came to the Pistons, we could have him just run in off the bench, give him like 10 to 15 minutes a game.
Isaiah Stewart it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Look,
all right, so
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no doubt. My phone keep jacking up and everything. All right, well, I don't know what's going on.
You're good. So Quest, we appreciate you. Maybe we'll try to do this again as we get closer to the finals, especially if the Pistons are still in. Even if the Pistons are, right? I don't want it to be a conditional if this, then that. So we'll have you back again as we get closer to the finals. Yes, sir. I thought you getting ready to say something, or
no, I'm just agreeing. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So we'll do it again. Please remember, you can check out every episode of It's a Black and White Thing by going to the podcast app of your choice, wherever you get the good podcasts. Give us 5 stars, leave a comment, talk to us. We talk back. You can also check us out by going to YouTube, going to Twitch, search Brains and Bars, subscribe. I don't know what the whole mechanism on Twitch is. I'm an old man, y'all. Just go to find a Twitch, sign up, subscribe, whatever that looks like. But hit the notification bell on YouTube. Hit the follow, hit the like button. Talk to us. Tell a friend it's them boys. Again, until next time, it's been a black
and white
thing. We'll holler at y'all next week. Quest, good luck. Go Pistons. Hey, and remember, Chicago is Caleb Wilson at the phone. It's Caleb Wilson at the phone. I want to hear nothing else. Y'all be easy, man.
All right, man. Peace.